Welcome back to Bull Sessions here on 680 KFEQ. You can email your questions or comments to bull@willcross.net. Once again, here's Randy Baker and agronomist Brad Law.
Okay, here we are back again after that short break. You said something about a burnt steak.
A burnt? Well, at the
Last
end of my
thing on
list,
your list.
it was, I was wondering if people in the Midwest have forgot how to cook a steak. Because when you go and you order one, say medium well or medium, sometimes they either come rare or they come burnt.
Yeah.
There's no happy medium in there. You know,
maybe it's where you're eating.
The farmer took all this time to get the right have a good herd of cows. He picked out a bull with good genetics to breed this awesome calf, and then they sent it to a feed yard where they have this huge, ration that is in all this detail to grow this awesome steak. Yeah. And then some chef gets it and then he destroys it.
Well, not all of them do.
I know, but I just haven't had, it just kind of agitated me some of the times we've been out to eat.
Brad, you are eating at the wrong establishments here.
Thank you, Miles.
Okay.
That's just what it is.
Well, you know, maybe I can't afford the good ones because Randy isn't paying me enough.
That is totally untrue.
Is that a mic drop, or we can't drop our mics here because they're hanging?
Please don't.
They're hanging.
They're hanging, and this stuff's from the 1930s. So
I have got to ask you something.
Yes.
Do we have a bean of the week?
Yes.
We got to get you off of this restaurant stuff.
I've got my tangent, but
you've done. Yes, you've hollered and bellered. So
we have an awesome bean of the week.
Okay, what is it?
It is the 98.
That is awesome.
We have
7398.
Yes, WX 7398N.
Yes.
Okay, WX means it's a Willcross bean.
Yes, N means
N for nematode
resistant.
Yep, and the 7 means it's a glide tolerant, and then the 3.9 means that it was a 3.9 maturity. That
it's
bean,
been an awesome bean for
yes.
Yes.
It is a tawny bean.
Good job. You hit it.
Or basically, it looks orange out there in the field. I mean, you can tell that bean in the plot. It has been around in the lineup. We've had it on the hill. We've had it in the prairie. We've had it down in the bottoms. We've had lots of good reports. I mean, we've had that bean where guys have come and bought a trailer load of that bean, and that was the only bean they were planting, and they put all that faith in that 98.
Yes, high pops, low pops, we've had it everywhere.
You know, it's a medium bush bean. It says about 38 inches tall, got a 1.4 on the SDS, and there a few years ago, you know, SDS didn't bother it very much, you know, and that was no special $15, $18 treatments on it. So we're excited about that. You know, every year's different, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's got a good stress rating. It's just one of those beans that has been proven, and it works, and it yields, and you can put some faith in it, and it's not going to break your pocketbook to plant that bean.
No. We're, $30 or about something like that.
You know.
Right at 140,000. I don't remember the actual seed size on it.
Maybe a little under.
Maybe a little under, but it's a bean that a lot of people like. They plant it.
Yes.
It's
that
a good
is
one.
a bean that I like.
So, we talked about a lot of stuff up front. We've got Lady and Ag coming up, Focus on the Farmer, the Farm City Breakfast. Don't forget to show up there Friday at 7 a.m. And right now, though, we got our guest of the week. You had the bean of the week. We've got a guest of the week. Her name is Dawn Gable, and she is the director and CEO of the National Agricultural Center and Hall of Fame there in Bonner Springs, Kansas. Are you there, Dawn?
I am there, everywhere.
Good morning.
I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today.
Thank you for being on. I know you're busy and you took time out to be on our show, which Bradley said it is the number one show. What did you say?
Oh, yes. It's the number one show on 680 KFEQ from 9 to 10 on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
For 27 weeks running.
West of the Mississippi.
West of the Mississippi?
There you go.
Okay.
So were you impressed with that, Dawn?
I was. Well done, gentlemen. Well done.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, Dawn, I have not been to the Hall of Fame, and Bradley has, and several people's been telling me they have. So tell me about it, because I've got to get there.
Well, it is a very interesting and valuable piece of agriculture education in the United States. It happens to be hosted in the great state of Kansas, but when it was first chartered in 1960 by Congress and then signed by President Eisenhower, there was quite a competition for who should host the National Agricultural Hall of Fame. And Kansas won out. I'm not going to say it wasn't because Eisenhower, who grew up in Kansas, was president, and President Truman was past president and hanging out over at the river, and he donated the very first artifact to the museum. But it might have had something to do with it.
You think?
But they did a great job and chartered the museum, and in 5 years they raised the monies to build the museum state-of-the-art at the time in 1965.
Wow.
Cool.
That's very cool.
That's a mouthful, but it has a long and interesting history. So,
what year was that? 1960?
60, it was chartered. 65, they cut the ribbon on the buildings. And by the way, not to give away my age, but I was there. I didn't know it at the that I would soon be the director a mere 50 years in the future. But my brother, who was 13 at the time, and I was 2, my father worked for the Salina Journal, which is a newspaper in the Harris News Service, and was covering the event. And I was at the ribbon cutting of the museums I would later run. So
cool.
We didn't even live there.
Isn't that something? You had no idea.
Later. That's
50
like
years
a Paul
later.
Harvey, the rest of the story right there.
I know, it's very
is.
odd, but it's true. My brother, who's 11 years older than me, came up to me right after I got the job. He goes, you were at the ribbon cutting. Odd.
Oh.
You remembered it, though?
No.
No.
Okay.
He was 2.
I was
Okay.
2.
Okay.
Well, what's some of one of the things we can see when we go out there? You mentioned something about Harry S. Truman donated something to help get it started.
Yes.
What did he donate?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
all right. It's a little bit confusing due to the fact that it's called the Hall of Fame, and that is when Congress names you, sometimes the branding can be a little confusing. So they named us the National Hall of Fame, and we do 3 things, one of which is honor the leadership in agriculture. So nearly every year we honor someone of great note that has given a lot of their life and forwarded the cause scientifically or in some way of inventiveness, even social inventiveness, as with the land grant universities. So we honor someone, we preserve that leadership history. We also are chartered to preserve history and have a museum. So that's the second portion. And the third portion is to educate the public about agriculture in America. So we do have Harry Truman's family plow, much to the dismay of the Truman Library because they keep wanting it. But he gave it to us. He wanted it to be the very first artifact in our museum, and it was. It was held at the Ford dealership in Bonner Springs till the building was built, and then he brought it over in his own pickup.
Really?
So that being the case, isn't that special? It is. I love that image. And so that being the case, we've got some wonderful artifacts. We have a vast collection of vintage implements. Mm-hmm. Most of them are of great note in the timeline of history. Mm-hmm. All of them, if they have motors, run. The fellas love that fact. We have a crew of about 8 volunteers that keep them running. Underneath each one is an oil drip pan. And so we like to talk about the ingenuity, the inventiveness, the timeline of invention going through our implements in agriculture in America. And so we have the Museum of Farming. We actually have 6 separate museums, and one of them is called the Museum of Farming, and that holds our implements.
Wow. And most farmers like old implements, old equipment like that.
Well,
I
we
do.
always tell the ladies, just drop your husband off for a husband sitter service and go on over to the shopping area and have fun.
Oh, so you do got shopping areas as well for the ladies, huh, that don't want to look at farm implements.
Well,
Yes, we have a very large, it's called the Legends. It's a lovely shopping area right next to us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
and you can get, it's just a great area out there, and it's not too far from St. Joe. It's even not too far from King City.
Wouldn't your wife like to look at old implements?
She's already been through it, unlike you, Randy.
I know, but I'm going.
You're going.
I'm going to go.
You should take your grandkids.
I absolutely will take them. Dawn, what else? You said there was...
We have some really great living history areas, and especially on our festivals. We have a great festival coming up. It's called Barnyard Babies Family Festival. It's held on Earth Day, which is April 22nd this year. And we focus
Okay.
on youth and birth on the farm, the youth being our 4-H and FF leaders. They, and along with other farm families, bring in baby animals that are actual animals from a farm. It's not a petting zoo. So you may have project animals, you may have actual animals from a working farm. And we set up pens, and you can go by, and each family's in charge whether you touch them or not. And that's Barnyard Babies, and we have a wonderful additional things to do. We have humongous kite demonstrations, those big kites.
Dawn, can we sneak out of here for a minute? Hold what's your thought there for a minute. We've got to take a commercial break. It'll be a short one, and we'll come right back with more of Dawn Gable and Bull Sessions on 680 KFEQ.